And it's Friday. I'm back up to a decent little bit of health, so I'll be trying to do all 3 rounds Friday Night Fights tonight. If I can't make it, I'll at least do 2. I will just judge that for myself. Then, of course, we'll have DayZ tonight. I'll probably only stream that for about an hour and a half to 2, but I might do more if I'm feeling okay. This weekend, we've got 3 streams on Saturday. First is going to be a 5 o'clock 3-way PvP I'm going to be hosting in my own community. That is going to be SCP themed. There is going to be some spooks and horrors. We'll see if the player base can handle it. Then 7 o'clock, we'll be streaming, doing some air stuff in that new community, the little Halo unit, 777th. And then 10 o'clock will be another round of contracting with Stillwater Security Solutions. Sunday, I don't know when I'm going to start streaming in the morning, but there's an event going on between the Always Give Back charity and the game Xfil. That's officially starting at 9 o'clock, but that's just Peeps, who runs the charity, cleaning up. Big Bird, who is, I guess I'd call him the community representative for the devs. Peeps is going to be cleaning Big Bird's computer up, and then maybe we'll actually show off some of the game. And then, let's see, gonna try to do the 3 to 5 in, whatchamacallit. I'm blanking on them. The SOG Prairie Fire official dev community for the, CDLC. And then I think that's it. Might do something else at 5 o'clock, but we'll see. Still trying to rebuild myself. I'm getting Metro ready to go for his up on Monday for Fallout, and Tuesday is now going to be HK stuff, so Wednesday is going to be when the next Stargate stuff operation is, and then I'll try to find some time for a few other missions I have planned. I already sound better? Yeah, exactly. Other good news before we officially start the commentary off. The wedding fund, where I have to pay $40K for my side, is now down to $38K because we officially made the savings account where we're going to be putting all that money. So I guess 38 is less terrifying than 40, right? Haha. Kill me. Anyway, let's go ahead and actually get over the mission details here. So we're starting World War II, the rotation for FNF. So we're going to be seeing a lot of World War II themed operations over the next, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks. But otherwise, we've got a small turnout for today, so it's going to be a little under-strength platoon versus under-strength platoon, 3 squads versus 3 squads with command. I'm going to be honest, this with World War II I think is going to be quite nice, because especially when we're going to see things like bolt actions on the field, this is going to be a really nice balancing to see what people can do with their limited manpower. But regardless, let's go over the mission. So, tasks today, Blue 4 is going to be trying to hack a terminal and get 2 sectors cleared. I think the terminal is meant to be a placeholder to actually blow up a bridge, but I could be wrong. But it looks like it's actually just a physical terminal. All right, so sometimes they have, like, barrels instead where you hack, quote-unquote, when it blows up, it, like, takes out an objective with it. But it looks like it's just a simple terminal piece. And Dream is already dead.
Literally said there's damage for melee.
That's fucking hilarious.
Of course, I think melee doesn't.
So it looks like they can kill each other with melee. And Dream has been insta-killed, I guess, to prove that, which is... Well, you're not going to see me crying about it. Regardless, render distance for this round is going to be 1,000 meters. No fortify points, because it looks like Blue 4 and Green 4 are spawning outside of the actual defensive zone. So the color doesn't matter, and it's your standard 50-minute round. Notes, combat engineers are unable to build in this mission. Yep, all right. Otherwise, background. The Battle of Arnhem was a battle of the Second World War at a vanguard of the Allied Operation Market Garden. It was fought in and around the Dutch city of Arnhem, the town of Oosterbeek, and the village Wolfies and Driel and the vicinity from 17th to the 26th of September in 1944. All right, so again, they usually pick a bunch of recreational battles to do, which is quite nice. Mission rules. Should the terminal countdown be stopped at any point by Green 4, it is considered out of play and will count as Green 4 having successfully prevented the bridge's destruction. I see. So Blue 4... Wait a minute. Blue 4 have to hack the terminal, and Green 4 have to defend it. Okay. So Blue 4 have to rush up and initiate the hack, and I guess that makes sense, because Green 4 is completely on foot. So that's meant to be a blue 4 go and hack the objective. All right, so I see what's going on. I think I miswrote it in the operational notes, but blue 4 basically hacking the terminal to destroy the bridge, and then they're holding 2 sectors, one on the far north, one in the center. Oh, I'm being told not to look at the German helmets because of a quote-unquote bad logo. That's funny. Yeah, I don't give a shit, all right? If I'm really going to get in trouble for that, I don't care. It's just historical accuracy, and if the world is really gone to shit, then I just move over to Kick, and I rebuild everything on Kick. Because Kick doesn't care about shit like that. We're playing a fucking World War II game. Dream, I don't care. Alright? If Twitch is really going to get pissy about a fucking video game... There's so many video games that have Nazi paraphernalia in it. Look at these chuckleheads all beating each other up. One of them's gonna kill each other with it. So they added improved melee system to PvP, so they probably shouldn't have allowed for allies to hit each other, though, because I feel like this is gonna cause some issues. Ay. Flash, how you doing, buddy? Like, I don't give a shit, alright? This is literally, it's a World War II video game, so if they have that, it's fine. It's fine. If I'm really going to get in trouble over that, then I guess I do need to go over to Kick at that point. God damn. These guys are literally going to start beating each other up.
Oh! Where's Sixer?
Did he just disappear? No, he was reslotting. Alright. Regardless, Blue 4 just have sectors 2 and 3 up here to defend. Looks like just a bunch of minor stuff. And then Green 4, it looks like their main plan is to basically come around and assault. I don't know what these numbers specifically mean. We might see that later. Or they're doing some sort of airdrop. Who knows? But regardless, they don't really have any good crossing points other than what we got on the northern side for them to go up on. Friendly night melee fire. Right, we're getting all the friendly fire out of the way now so they don't kill each other. So I wonder if they're going to do a scripted airdrop of some sort. I didn't see anything in the mission details about it, but who knows. But regardless, let's go ahead. We hit everything on the background notes. Let's go ahead and grab loadout. So Blue 4, look what they did to the Votten SS logos. They just widened it. Oh my god. All right, so we got Car 98s. Marksmen have a scoped Car 98 per squad. MP44s for the squad leaders. We got some MP30, MP40s as well. And then MG. I'm assuming those are 42s. Green 4 loadouts. Meanwhile, Lee Enfield, Scope Lead Enfields, Brent guns, and Sterlings. All right. What a choice there. Lolo commanding 4, Blue 4, Chris Bear has the platoon's medic, Cat's leading Alpha, Nick has the marksman rifle and Alpha, Malin is the medic for Alpha, Dream being the 2IC. So I wonder if he has rifle grenades for that K98. Otherwise, Cullis, Wise, Korvac, Misfit, and Charlotte all under Alpha 1, Alpha 2 as Oddball, Alexander, G-Legs, Seismo, and Jack. NASA leading Bravo with Kremet, I'm assuming as the marksman, but everyone under him because he's merged everyone together. Lolo, Cheeseburger, Alvarez, Orin, Skipu, Patriot, and Zixme. And then Delta, the medium machine gun crew, has Salas leading, Dying Bush being the medic, and then Blam and Smith taking 2 of the MGs because Delta takes the quote-unquote medium machine guns. So I'm assuming the auto riflemen per squad... I'm curious, Cullis is it, so it's going to be an MP44 for the group. So I'd imagine Delta, Brits, they've got Brens, but the Bren is also going to be a weapon. Unless they are making Sterlings now. Okay, so they've got that too. If you are punching friendlies in Safe Start, you will be kicked. These are comrades in arms, not your punching bags. I don't know. It was Dream that got killed by someone in Melee, so I would stick with that. Dude, I don't know where my PC spec command went. I really got to remake it, but that's just one of millions of things I have to do, unfortunately. Anyway, Hirana commanding Green 4. Hirana and Charlotte are on the multi, by the way, which I don't have in the title because I'm a goober. 1 second. All right, let me add that in. Nah, all good. Anyway, Ash leading, Alpha, Gazog being the marksman, Eric being the medic, Bravo has everyone merged together. It's Goose leading, Tindian, Pupper, Fonz, Meerkat, Nolix, Salt, Crispy, Mike, Pierce, Crazy, Snodgepair, Bursty, Murphy, and Toxic. Delta being led by Bates with Tomer, Michael, Iqbal, Harrington, Hunt, France, and Cheek. Delta 1 has Nilsson on his own. He'll probably merge. And then Alpha 2 has a joint group off, probably being led by Ash. It's Tackleberry, Smith, Wheaton, Banks, and Vagrant. Hold on. Okay, no, they are talking about airdropping in because they're talking about avoiding trees and whatnot. So I'm assuming they get to choose a drop zone back here and they'll move in on it. So I'm going to be honest. Out of the 4 zones they can choose, I would not land at position 2 or 3 because that's in a bunch of trees and you know some chucklehead is going to hit the top of the tree and kill himself when his parachute despawns. I'd do number 4. That gives me a forest immediately to move in on. Number 1, I wouldn't do either because then you have to risk crossing over the river and that's probably going to be a pain in the ass. Just drop on number 4. You have this nice open area right here to work with. There's a few trees, yeah, but I mean, what are the odds one chucklehead's going to actually step on one and kill himself when the parachute despawns, right? Anyway, but literally from number 4, you got the tree line to move with. You got plenty of options to get into the town. You got this way over here. You got high ground to move in with. You can also flank around north if you really want to, just to get into this sector right here with that smoke, and then this sector right here, which is pretty nice, actually. Are these all enterable? No. Oh, but these are. And they're in the sector, so there are some buildings that you can work with. But regardless, yeah, it should be fine. This is technically a Soviet statue. You can tell because this is meant to be a PPSH. Because the only World War II gun that had a drum mag like that was the PPSH as far as I remember. I hate how I can tell what gun that is. Look at that. It's literally like a stick you would find at a frickin' in the woods. It's like, oh yeah, that's a PPSH. Totally. Because it's definitely not a Tommy gun. Otherwise the barrel would be shorter. It's a Tommy for this mission. No, it wouldn't be, because this is a Dutch town. So why would... Look at me nitpicking. Next thing you know, you're going to call me a Star Wars fan. Good God.
We have 2. Let me take a picture. Yeah, okay.
So obviously, something's got quote-unquote lost in translation. I appreciate them being historically accurate. I wish we could get back to that, but unfortunately, there's some mega corporations out there that want to pacify everything. Shame. Anyway. I'm going to be honest, if I was on the German side, I would just situate... It's hard to say. I would definitely try to put a team out, maybe with the MG42s on the outskirts, garrison a building, try to lock things down. I would definitely focus my infantry on Sector 2, go out, touch Terminal 1, run back. Sector 3, you could also do a bit of garrison work with, but there's not a lot of buildings that you could physically garrison, because it looks like the position is really just this smoked out thing right here. And then you have the tent. And then everything outside. You really want to avoid sectors where you can't actually have forces in the sector, because then they can just be taken out from under your nose. This one, though, you can literally garrison this entire block of buildings. Daisy will be today after, probably around 8:30 or 9. Bloodwing's making hamburgers and hot dogs, though, so I'm going to give her the time to do that, because I could use a good one after having COVID, man. Finally having my taste buds again. I got to eat a lox bagel today. Mwah. I miss smoked salmon. Regardless, I would say Blue Fort garrison that block of buildings. They can't set up any fortifications, but they can definitely garrison these. The only weakness to that is if some chucklehead runs up with a satchel, you're kind of dead. But, you know, if you can prevent that from happening, that's pretty awesome. I mean, with that, you also have plenty of room to maneuver in this sector, but with the size of this sector comes the risk of, all right, you have those buildings garrisoned. What if a squad walks up here and that number's bigger than what you have in there? Then they'll just automatically start taking the sector. So they're going to need some presence out here as well, but that is like 3 to 4 squads of infantry, so they could really just garrison everything around. Called a day. Now, are they going to do that? I have no freaking idea. World War II, it's very difficult to predict what people are going to do because they just get in a different mindset and go a lot harder in their CQC. So, it's hard to say. But if I were the British, I would pick option 4, come in. If I were the Germans, I would just come in, set up around Sector 2, maybe put some garrisons on the outskirts and be quick to fold them in, but put my machine guns out there. That way, if they do catch the British coming in, I can easily mow them down from second story or third story built rooftops. Whatever I could access. Probably not the rooftops here because they don't have any construction way to build onto things, but maybe some of these buildings have ladders on the outside that'll let them get on the roofs, but anywhere where I can get a good firing line and potentially catch some of the British moving, you know, from field to field. Unfortunately, the AK-74U wasn't available in World War II, so we can't see that weapon in its prime. I have a feeling if it was, though, it probably would have slaughtered. Good God. All right, safe zones dropped. We'll see where people go. So why would one go... All right, let's see if command hits a tree, because I'm going to laugh my ass off if he does. And some are going over there. Oh, shit, they can actually glide those? I think, oh, yeah, so you see that there's a cleared out area here where they're meant to glide the parachutes over to, because if they, oh, no, pancake, right there. 2 knockouts, because 2 shoots hit each other. We have another shoot that hit.
Why did
someone
I die?
that's dead.
We got killed by the parachute. We're gonna need a lot of respawns.
All right, so 1 death, 2 death.
Of immersion, but no.
Wounded, wounded. 2 pancake.
This is fun.
I'm not supposed to be here. Anyway, muting myself there so we can get that cleared, but yeah, that's the one risk when you do a single teleport point is, yeah, they'll possibly clip into each other. Look at this one chucklehead that opened his chute way too early. But that could be part of the strategy. You could. How the hell did you get all the way over here? Did you jump on... Oh, he went on number 1 and somehow got a vehicle kill. But who did he clip on to... Okay, that's weird. Regardless, is he part of Alpha? No, he's part of Bravo. So where did Bravo... Bravo spawned all over here. So how did... He must have flown all the way across the map after getting armored. That's brilliant. Now, there isn't anything wrong with what Kazag is actually doing. This is actually kind of smart. Because what you do is you get like 2 or 3 dudes, you drop them on the opposite side of where you're supposed to, and then you open your chute early, and then if any of the Germans look up and they see chutes in that direction, they're going to think, oh, they're idiots. They're all coming from that direction, and a few of them open their chutes early, when in reality, you're just faking them out. That way they put all their fortifications over here, and then you can just have your main force come in and sneak around the side. Now, normally I would say that is beyond FNF's capability, but we only have about like 50 to 60 people on the server right now, so 30v30, I mean, managing 30 or 40 players, that used to be my average player base for years before I moved communities, so... I've managed 30 to 40 people as ground command at least a few hundred times, and stuff like that would be very easy to coordinate at that point. But we'll just have to see what the player base decides to do. Meanwhile, Blue 4, I don't think they need everyone to come across the bridge. Don't tell me they're actually planning on putting a squad out here. This is the dumbest thing they could do. The only thing I can think of is they're not allowed to immediately hack the terminal. That just proved it wrong. Oh. Oh. They have to defend that for 30 minutes. Oh. Now they're moving trucks with their mines. I'm not even going to pretend to know what the hell that just was. Alright, so that changes the game a little bit. I thought this would be a quick, like, you know, for immersion's sake, blow up the bridge, but I don't think there's a way Blue 4 can win this. Between the fact they have to keep a garrison out here to hold that position, and they have to keep the sectors intact, I guess the win condition for this to be balanced has to be that Blue 4 at least has to secure one objective, which means they have to secure the terminal being destroyed. But if it gets interrupted at any point, it stops. It can't be changed again. So that's why we have a drop zone over here in case Green 4 decides to come around like that. So Blue 4 is severely lacking reconnaissance data right now. They need to figure out where Green 4 dropped, because they can't afford to be spread out like this, because otherwise they're going to lose both sectors. They could still potentially hold the terminal. That's a 30-minute... This is a tough one for Blue 4. They have to really rely on the fact that they can have garrisons in. You got someone in the bell tower. That's smart. Honestly, marksman in the bell tower is probably... It's one of the most common things that happen, but at the same time, it's one of the best things for marksmen to do. Oh, man. Trying to think. Alright, we see some machine gun fire immediately going out with an MP44 on a single player out here. That's Gazag. He was a marksman trying to come up and see if he could scout anything out. You got to remember, marksmen with those scopes, I mean, they're literally just like ×2 or ×4 magnifiers. They don't really see much. Looks like Blue 4 found a... Oh, God. I'm assuming that thing has ammo. So that's a portable machine gun at that point. That could be very, very devastating if it's put in the right spot and catches enough Green 4 off guard. You definitely see it watching around in the zone here. Yeah, so it looks like that guy got teleported after they realized he probably just got Arma flun. But you got more shots coming out here. This, I'm going to be honest, is actually good for Green 4 because you see where their main force is coming around over here. What I have a reservation about, though, is this is a 30-minute timer. So if Blue 4 succeeds in that objective, that means they automatically win the round, right? Because if Blue 4 are technically defending the scenario here, defenders win if one of the objectives concludes in their favor. No one has... I think people might have AT grenades. German forces would have... Yeah, no, Germans would have an AT grenade, and then Green 4 would have the Gannon bomb since they're UK. So, yes, they do have AT grenades for each other. I'm just not sure if they specifically have that in play here. Huh, your cover seems to be a little uprooted there, buddy. I'd say uprooted. There's no freaking roots. Where's the tree's roots? So that's already down 5 minutes, 25 more to go. I mean... Yeah, we see the time on the map, 25:15. So my estimate was accurate there. 25 minutes for them to get to the bridge, but most of Blue 4's on the opposite side. I think it's still doable, but it's really going to defend how much Blue 4 puts into here, because Green 4 could easily move into this town, smoke this bridge, and rush up and touch that to stop it. So... Blue 4 is really banking on Green 4 landing on both these spots, but it looks like they're quick to move things over because they think that Green 4 is coming from this spot. They have no security on their southeastern side, though. And if they continue to not have that level of security, they're going to suffer. But I see forces now moving to the south. So we'll see if they adjust. But Green 4 needs to be on the move because, as far as I know, this objective counts. And if Blue 4 technically pull it off, then it's a Blue 4 win. Does it force Green 4's hand a bit? Absolutely. I think that timer should have been a bit bigger for a 50-minute round to turn it pretty much into a 30-minute round. See, I need you to reply to me on Discord, buddy. I want to make your horror op. I need to know what you want, though. We're gonna do a consultation about it. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna try to run it next weekend. You did? Ah, perfect. All right, must not have seen it. You did it recently, then, like within the past, what, 45 minutes, I'm assuming? Hey, Jimbo, how you doing? I mean, so, Jimbo, they do have a kilometer of render distance, and then you have an entire fortification here. These guys were in the low ground, so I doubt they were spotted, but I think Blue 4 is kind of wising up to where Green 4 might be maneuvering from, because, you know, this is a spawn point, so there's nothing stopping that. What's scaring me here is now these guys are going all the way around, and they've got 23 minutes remaining, so I think especially since there's no Blue 4 controlling Sector 2, I honestly think these guys could push in and stop everything. You did yesterday? Huh. I'll check again. Maybe I got a message, but Discord didn't notify me then. Or it got buried. Who knows? But I'll let you know then. Sorry about that, broski. Love these floating little pontoons. What I'm curious, though, is Kremet can't really see that far to the right, but he does see right there. So in a minute, he might be able to see this group moving and then tell everyone, and they're going to redeploy. I think Blue 4, I don't want to call it yet, but I feel like if they're spotted early on and Blue 4 redeploys, then it's over. Yeah, I just saw movement through his vision, so unluckily timed. He's now looking south. He's looking again. He's going to catch him on the next cycle when he checks that corner again. Unless he just decides not to. Did he not just see that little skit? Oh, no. Well, how much is a kilometer here? No, they're within a kilometer for him. He's gonna catch them when they start moving from the tree line, though. That's at least a few hundred meters of a sprint. Blue 4, we already see them starting to shift down south to reform. However, they might end up creating another gap for the northern team to come in. And there's 20 minutes remaining. So I still think there is a decent chance Green 4 can get there. I didn't notice the other team had shifted like this and that Blue 4 is collapsing their entire line. My point is, if Blue 4 successfully sees where Green 4 is coming from and makes adjustments to basically hold them off for those 20 minutes, they'll be fine. It's an instant win at that point. Check Hrana. Yeah, no, Hrana's in the back line, just moving with the entire group at this point. Triple timing to get back up to everybody. Hearing some shots now. Yep, that is the marksman from the tower shooting, I'm assuming. That was 5 shots, so now it's a reload. Can't seem to make a shot connect, though. Oh, very under range, though. Let me guess, that's Zixme with the other one. Zixme trying to do it with irons. So now you have the entirety of Blue Force shifting. This is where the first fight's going to be. It's going to be up to Alpha to sneak in and hit that terminal. I'm going to be honest, the route they're coming in with, very tough call. They could divert and go cross the bridges there and come around. That would give them a better foot in the door, because coming in and doing it right here, a lot of open ground they're going to have to contend with. They're going to have to smoke that bridge to go around, so we'll see what decision they make. They've got time, but not a lot. This group, meanwhile, we could see them smoke this bridge and then move up, but that's, again, a lot of open ground right in front of some marksmen that can lock them down. So I could still see Green 4 getting to it, but it's going to be a tough sell. A lot of fire coming up to this position. No KIAs on either side so far. All Blue 4 is doing is slowing down the maneuvering, so that's good. Forcing a few smokes to pop. I guess a big question is, do you think Green 4 should be trying to risk any marksmen getting into bushes and delivering counterfire? I would say no. There's way too many potential rooftops that snipers could be watching and already looking. And if they catch you, then that's pretty much it for you. This coastal advance, though, is going to suck. And it looks like they're digging firing positions right here. All right, yep, Alpha's doing the smart thing. They're going to cross and then ride this hedgerow up and then try to get into the city here. I think Alpha has a solid chance, because that's going to then divide any of the marksman's attention to the north instead. I think Alpha's going to be the team to actually get that position. Everything else is distracted by this being the main force. So these guys completely lost sight of the fact that there were forces up here, and they confirmed it. They shot at them. So they know there's at least a squad element up there. It wasn't just the one guy they shot at another. So if there's two, usually that means there's at least a squad's worth. What's scaring me here is Blue 4 is actually trying to counterattack. But I get it. It is the literally stall for those 16 minutes. So if Green 4's entire force was here, this would be the best call to make, because they're going to slow down the Green 4 movement to the terminal and auto-win. What they don't realize is there's another squad that they've completely misaccounted for, and they're going to get taken out for it. So Bait's getting blown up with some grenades. You saw like 3 or 4 grenades getting thrown. I think now we have 4 and 5, 6 even. So this is causing the initial Blue 4 attack to waste all their grenades. And one of them just blew himself up. See, this is why I'm not a fan of conscripting people, because especially if they don't get the proper training, silly little accidents like that happen. And it just kind of makes me laugh. Oh, and they brought up the MG car. And that is going to be able to lock down any open area that Green 4 tried to move up on. But again, it's not about the kills, it's about the objectives. And if Alpha can get up there and take that and take the 2 sectors, which are unguarded right now, it's just a matter of can Green 4 hold for this area for like 10, 15 minutes. Gunner just turned in because he noticed he was being shot. Now you got Blue 4 starting to advance, and Green 4, we got some flanking going on as they stop Alexander, but Alexander gets a really great grenade throw. Does damage to 3 people, but no kills. Alexander running away. He takes damage from a grenade. You see the blood. More grenades coming in. This is causing Green 4 to rout. Cat's running up, throwing all of the grenades he can. I think they gave Alexander all the grenades, and now he's just chucking everything he can. Cat's dodging a shot from Pupper, not realizing Pupper's going to get the headshot. He misses the headshot. And now he's missing every shot. There we go. Double tap, Pupper. Yeah, you're gonna need another one. Put it up his butt. He misses again. There we go. Breaks his spine. Green 4 collapses back, and Blue 4 has him on the run. Blue 4 is going to be feeling pretty good about this. Overwatch is going to continue on. This could bait Blue 4 to continue out, though, pulling more Blue 4 away from the internal defense, keeping a gap big and wide for Alpha to come in. Alpha's doing a very wide flank, though. I don't think they have the luxury to do that, though. They only got 14 minutes left to stop that objective. Again, I'd say Green 4 has a solid chance to still win this, but we have this massive outflank going on. They're playing this way too cautious. Goose running up. Dream wakes back up. Goose misses his shot. I'm surprised they're not just trying to melee each other at this point. And Wise manages to get the headshot, saving Dream. Green 4 now pushing as the MG car is pulling back. A satchel was thrown. Oh my god. I think one of these guys was an engineer and they just ran up and satcheled the building. Oh, that I think has just turned the tide on this fight. Green 4 just lost a significant chunk of their manpower here. And Green 4 just blew up one of their own dudes. Yeah. That's the power of the satchel. If there's a building where they're all garrisoning, it's over at that point. Little shocked that they had another grenade blow up, but we also have a barge coming around. It's up to Alpha. We have a knockout, though, which I'm concerned about. But now Blue 4 is starting to move in. Why? Why did you... Oh, I really hope this is because Blue 4 spotted them moving around and not vice versa. Green 4 opening up out here is going to stall them. I don't see how they can get here in 12 minutes now that Blue 4 is turning forces around and they're going to try to stop that garrison from coming in. When this hits 5 minutes, Green 4 is going to panic and start trying to smoke rush in. And I think they're all going to get killed off. I think this is a Blue 4 victory now. The only chance Green 4 had to win was this team sneaking in. And they just completely lost the element of surprise. Maybe Wheaton can sneak. We could still see a single infantry member sneak up here. Because all they need to do is smoke this and then run up and touch it. And then Blue 4 can't touch it again. But I don't see why we see a big chunk of people staying back. They need to be rushing in like Wheaton at this point. So Wheaton could save this objective, but how Green 4 then transitions to the other two sectors, if Blue 4 wises up, pulls everyone back, I still think they have an opportunity here. Uh-oh. They just AT grenade it. And that disabled its engine. We see a satchel thrown blowing up more infantry. These guys are just going to stay in here at this point. So the guy in the back is dead, but G-Legs is still alive. And Green 4 is being forced to retreat again. But again, I think Blue 4 is now wising up and starting to pull back instead. G-Leg's going to play dead. Is France going to hop up in there and double tap? That's what France needs to do. He needs to climb up to the top and kill everybody. Looking back, I don't see Wheaton anymore. I see Skippoo with a kill, though. So I'm assuming Wheaton got taken. This is Blue 4. I think it's GG. Green 4 got completely wiped by that satchel. All of their momentum is gone. They are being forced to pull back. Hirana now all the way on the northern side, I guess, broke off. Maybe Hirana could sneak in. Hard to say. That part of that bridge is disappearing, but I don't see how we could see a bounce back here. Blue 4 pulling back. They're going to probably pull defense on one of the sectors at the very least. You got Green 4 trying to move up still. Lolo checking windows. That's a cereal box. Never mind. But he's got an MP44. Does Gazag hear the footsteps? Gazag does. Immediately switches to a handgun. He's going to check that corner. Honestly, if you're in Gazog's shoes, Lolo tries to do a melee just to show off, and then finishes Gazog off. Again, we're seeing players going for kills here. That is the mistake. They can totally bypass this position and still make it up to that terminal site. 9 minutes remaining. Could still see a miracle here. Skippo caught in a reload. He's taken out. No, excuse me. Skippo takes out the guy caught in the reload. My bad. And this man is surviving. Mills bomb gets thrown. Doesn't take him out. MP44 just absolutely annihilating people. Vagrant, is he going to ascend the bell tower? Meanwhile, Green 4 holding out right here. Some Blue 4 that didn't push back, still keeping this group oppressed. Dream tries to get a handgun kill. Melee him. Melee. Guys, literally, this is the fight to just run up and melee a dude. Oh my god. Dream just freaking cheated Pierce out so hard with that. Holy shit. He's still trying to maneuver around. It's a matter of who can get who with a shot first. Tries to get Meerkat. Just shows they're out of grenades. If I was Pierce, I'd uninstall. Now Dream trying to poke his head out. Meanwhile, checking. Vagrant and Harana trying to survive a grenade, slowly breaching, clearing. 7 minutes left on the terminal. Banks trying to tactically move around and take out who he can here. Vagrant knocked out by grenades. Harana also potentially knocked out by grenades. Shots come in. Vagrant wakes back up. Skippo trying to fire through the windows. Really nasty keyhole there. Oh, you can see him silhouetted inside, though. All right, looking back, Dream still playing chicken with people. Looking back on the internal. They're camping this little barn extra here. And Harana gets blown back by, I don't even know. Double taps, gentlemen. Double taps. I'm gonna laugh if Harana wakes back up. Banks still running around the side. It's over. 5 minutes, 55 seconds remaining unless Eric pulls something. Maybe Banks, but what we're seeing right now are the bolt actions are really, really bad. Dream finally gets found by Meerkat and double tapped in the face. It's like one of them tried to come out and was shot. It's over. What's Dream's kill count? I mean, just look at the skull count compared to the other side, though. Look at that versus this. Dream only got one, and he died twice. Good for him. Still ends up with a negative KD. Banks is dead. I'm going to be honest. I think Green 4 had a solid opportunity to win this. If they didn't try to sneak around and go through the middle, instead if they just came directly, that would have put them much more closer to the objective, and at that point, they could have just smoke rushed it. To be perfectly honest. A bunch of people hiding in a building when the front of the building wasn't secure, so it could get satcheled like that, was also a massive mistake. Gonna be honest, this fight was more determined anyway because of what Blue 4 immediately did to counterattack, but again, the goal was for Alpha to start touching the objectives, because if they got their hands on that, that would have caused the entirety of Blue 4 to rout. But utilizing that building was a massive mistake when the areas around it wasn't clear. And that's, what, 6 bodies. And then from there, when you suffer that big of a blow, when it's like, you know, 25v25, 30v30, there's no turning it around at that point. I also think they should have given Green 4 a vehicle or two. In the form of a transport. Not something with a gun like a Bren. Maybe a Bren would have worked. Because I disagree with the defenders getting any sort of vehicle, especially an armed one. Because it allows them to really rapidly redeploy, and it is a shock weapon when we're talking about bolt-action rifles. I think the British could have gotten a Bren carrier too, or like a truck. Something to help them maneuver a lot more quickly. So if they wanted to do maneuvering like this, it wouldn't have been that much of a threat to the time limit. But I think the objectives were more than doable. It's just Green 4 had a really weird plan with their assault team. So that's all I got. Flight Deck Streamer, thanks for the 19-month resub. Round 1 is going right now. It's mostly concluded, though. It's going to be a Blue 4 victory, just looking at the skull counts. It was kind of a slaughter. It was kind of a slaughter. Alright, Hirana died. There's 9 Green 4 remaining. Blue 4 are probably still up to like 20 to 30. Crispy now trying to hit Eric. Eric just has his handgun out. I don't blame him. But he was in the back trying to get marksman kills. Hasn't gotten anything. I'm going to be honest, though. Blue 4 having the MP44 and the MP40 versus the British just having the Sterling. Blue 4 definitely have superior technology, but look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is the smoke push. He's going to do it. He's going to freaking do it. No! Oh. We're not going to count that as a caster curse, okay? Charlotte with the save. We're not going to count that as a caster curse. Okay? Definitely came the closest, but I appreciate that Eric went for the objective. You saw all these other Green 4 players go to the south where the bodies were. If Eric had one other person to help him, he would have been able to touch it. Because it was just Charlotte, and Misfit was still realigning himself in the building. And then, you know, if there was someone else throwing smokes, you wouldn't have had this gap created either. It would have been a solid smoke push all the way up. Would have stopped it. But everyone else went for the kills. So I'm going to tell you right now, there's definitely going to be some Green 4 players that complain about this mission. But it's Green 4's own actions in micro that caused the issues. Again, with how this team was deployed and how these guys just decided to try to garrison buildings and whatnot, and they got satcheled for it. Which is exactly what should happen when you have a massive amount of infantry go into a building. You satchel the damn thing. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think Green 4, what they should have done is if they were going for that incursion team to go in, they should have set up as Overwatch, but at the same time, what if that incursion group fails? At that point, instead of going 1 squad, 3 squads, they should have done 2 squads and 2 squads. And they should have had a bigger team going on that way. And then they would be more comfortable with just sitting these guys on Overwatch. And if Blue 4 wises up and pulls everything back, then that creates an open door for these guys to then move in on, you know? There it is. So, Blue 4 win. Just by that objective alone. Now, you got to give credit here. Tomer actually manages to get a kill. The entire bridge blows up. Smith somehow survives a building collapsing. Nice. And I just heard a mine go off here, so a German just blew up to one of their own mines placed on the bridge there. That's funny. Tomer runs up and threatens Sector 2 on his own, causes a massive response, and he got the sector, I think, counted to halfway, which is even funnier. So, Azariah, if you're in chat, pay it out to Blue 4, because they've already won. They blew up the bridge. Even if Green 4 take both the sectors, Blue 4 won. Satchels were not friendly. No, they were not. Green 4 still has a solid amount of infantry, but, I mean, against Blue 4, it's 2-1 at this point. It's still possible, don't get me wrong, but the only automatic rifles that the British have are the 30-round Bren and, what, the 32-round Sten? What are the size of the stick max for the Sten? Fighting either the 25 or 30-round MP44s and the 32-round MP40s and then the 25 or 30-round MP44s. No, so the Germans just had to get one objective. Because they were technically on defense. 32 for the Sten, 28. Yeah, it's either 28 or 32. I think 32 is the MP44 and 28 is for the Sten. I think the MP44 is, the MP40 is 32. God, getting my numbers confused. Regardless. $15 minutes remaining. We're about to see that call come up and start seeing the countdown on the bottom left of my screen. Looks like they've been picking up some German grenades as well, and they're redistributing some of the stuff. These German grenades, enough on a building, by the way, will collapse the building. And Tomer is still up here running his one-man tug-of-war. I love it. I mean, this is what I love about World War II PvP, is one guy can cause so much damage because the individual firepower is so low. And people tend to be very inaccurate. But as soon as you run into a guy with an automatic weapon, you are freaking dead to rights if you have a bolt action. But if you are running around as the one man with an automatic weapon, there is so much damage you can do. Case in point, Falcon. Case in point, T5 Bay. Oh my god, it can be brutal. Charlotte's watching people going through here. They're not shooting at all, though. So we could see him start to envelope, but Nollik might stop him. Big emphasis on the word might. Oh, no. I think Charlotte's going for a grenade play. Alexander, though, on the rooftop gets a knockout and a kill. Grenade gets thrown in. That's going to bounce right next to France. Alexander running around. Patriot pushing from the rear. The Bren gets a knockout. Forcing Nollik to try to get close to that grenade, but a bolt action hit to Charlotte's face. Now it's a battle of the train station. Grenades landing in this building. Another thing about grenades is I've noticed they're a lot less effective. They got to be like right on top of you here, and their bounces can be pretty epic here. But I'm noticing the infantry have a lot more grenades as well. Yeah, they're trying to throw grenades in here. That's going to get Meerkat if he doesn't move. Oh, and I just heard a satchel go off. That might have been a satchel charge thrown back here. Yeah, he gets blown away for that one. Yeah, the grenades are just... Oh, my God. That gets Dine Bush knocked out. Ooh! It feels like Call of Duty World at War, man, if you put it on veteran difficulty. The sheer amount of grenades going around, I love it. That's all Green 4 dead, by the way. There's one it's Nollik, still alive in the back. And Nollik is against, what, 3, 6, 9... 3, 6, yeah, 9. Don't speak about that. Don't. Let's ignore the fact I counted to 9. I was about to count to 10, and then one of them blew unblued. All right, let's just ignore that step. Just shh. All right, Knowledge on 2 kills, or it might be Knowledge, but with a bolt action, I'm gonna be honest. There's a snowball's chance in hell here, unless he finds an automatic weapon or he gets really good with some grenade throws. But you know, I shouldn't have paid it out early because there's still a chance that I think if you entirely wipe your opponent, I think you still win if you do that, but it would be a draw or something at that point because that's technically 2 separate win conditions. He just missed a point. Okay. Yeah, now we have this. We have whatever the hell this is. Oh my god! Oh my god! Damn! You know, I was wondering why I wasn't seeing that all of the first round. There were plenty of instances where someone could just run up and bitch slap a guy, but alright, we end with it. Hold on. Hold on.